Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to the CanUK podcast, the podcast done by fans, for fans, of everything nerdy. I'm your host, once again, Lord X, and I welcome you to the program this week. Sorry about not having an episode last week, but work sucks. Joining me this week on the show is none other than my Canadian ally, Big Boss.
Hello, hello, everybody.
How are you doing this week?
I'm doing all right. Getting over a cold and whatnot, but been worse, so I can't complain.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
I've just finished up my 12th day straight of work, so exhausted but very, very happy at the moment.
And I'm sure on payday you'll be even happier.
Oh, indeed. Alright, so we got quite the show here today. We're going to wing it a little bit with our news stories. We got some old stories that came out last week for movies and TV, but they're going to be quite in depth, I think, and stuff that we do want to talk about. As for the gaming stuff, well, Gamescom happened, and quite a bit of news came out of Gamescom. So myself and Big Boss, we're going to run through a couple of articles on IGN listing off the big stuff from Sony, Microsoft, and EA. Nintendo also had a presence at Gamescom. I think the biggest thing they revealed was Meta Knight and Smash Brothers, to be honest with you. Ubisoft, I'm not too sure about. I really haven't heard a thing, which is kind of weird since they are more of a European developer. But without further ado, let's dive into Microsoft, I think. So let me just drag up the old article here. Gamescom 2014, Microsoft's biggest Xbox One reveals. So first off, the big stuff that IGN has listed here. Rise of the Tomb Raider will be an Xbox exclusive when it launches in 2015, which has since been confirmed by Phil Spencer to be a timed exclusive. So yeah, that's a really big one right there, and brought up a lot of controversy over the week.
Yep. I wasn't too thrilled to initially hear it was an exclusive, though when I heard it was a timed exclusive, I just kind of said, okay, I'll wait.
Yeah, and even if they said exclusive at the beginning, given the way Dead Rising 3 and Rise is gone, we would have gotten it eventually anyway.
In one form or another.
Yeah. Next up, the Halo 5 Guardians beta won't be the usual sort of Halo experience we've come to expect. The grander scale of Halo 4 has been dialed down to focus on more tense, intimate 4v4 fights in 7 smaller arenas.
Interesting.
Well, don't play Halo, so I guess I've heard from the Rooster Teeth guys that that's kind of good, going back to the older style Halo.
Yeah, I played Halo. I mostly played the campaign. I never had Xbox Live, so my experience with that was always at friends' houses.
Mm-hmm.
But I did do a lot of LAN partying back in the day. Halo 2.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was 4v4 always. So that could be kind of fun.
Cool. And finally, from the big stuff, the Evolve beta on Xbox One kicks off in January. Whoop-de-doo.
Cool, I guess.
For those interested in Evolve. Alright, next up here we have the bundles announced. First off, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is getting an Xbox One bundle with a ridiculously large 1 terabyte hard drive. When you think about it, it still isn't that big given the size of game installs now.
Yeah, it's true.
The machine itself has a futuristic look with a gold trim and around its gray and black paint. And also, if you rather have a white Xbox One, the Sunset Overdrive bundle could be up your alley. If you're in Europe, look for a FIFA 15 bundle at launch. Okay. More bundles along the way.
Cool.
Let's see. And the pleasant surprises. Halo 2 Sanctuary is getting a full-on reboot in Halo the Master Chief Collection. Plus, the Halo channel was announced, and if you're into learning about the series, love watching pro players, or just want a preview of upcoming stuff, this could be great. Below, Smite and Super Hot will all debut on Xbox One. Indie games are awesome. Yes, they are, IGN. Frontier announced Scream Ride, a new IP in which roller coaster filled cities see citizens smashing through skyscrapers. Why not?
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool. The Halo channel's pretty neat, if you ask me.
I think so too. If I was an Xbox owner,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably check that out often enough just to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else here. And IGN has a bunch of videos for Assassin's Creed Unity, the Master Chief Collection, first gameplay trailer for Quantum Break, which does look a bit interesting. I'll have to give it to them. Fable Legends trailer, a Sunset Overdrive trailer, a Super Hot trailer, Smite, eyed at Xbox One indie games montage, so check that out for some indie game love, and a trailer for Below.
Cool.
Yep. I'm sure now when we get over to Sony, we're going to have a lot more indie games to talk about, because they had quite a bit at their press conference. So, Big Boss, you want to run us down through what IGN has listed for Sony at Gamescom?
I would. However, you never sent that to me.
Oh, right. My bad. I just sent you the EA one, didn't I? There you go.
I'm just like, alrighty then.
We're well prepared, folks. Or at least I am.
So let's see. We've got The Tomorrow Children has been announced by Q Games, a 3D game about building stuff.
Soviet themed. It was very weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it definitely has me interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see how that all goes. Then Hollow Point is the next game from Crackdown 2 developer Ruffian Games.
Mm-hmm.
If survival shooters are more your thing, DayZ is coming to the PS4.
At some point.
Pardon me?
At some point.
Yeah. As is the stellar-looking mystery game The Vanishing of Ethan Carter and Until Dawn, which we all thought was just a PS3 game until recently. Destiny is the most pre-ordered new IP in GameStop's history. Well, given the hype, I can see why.
Mm-hmm.
On the firmware front, there are major changes coming to the PS4 with its 2.0 update, and PlayStation TV has a release date, which is not specified. Awesome.
I believe it is October 12th.
Okay.
I could be wrong. It is October, though.
Look forward to that.
Yep. Yeah, and as for the 2.1 update, that's going to include Share Play, which is the awesome sharing feature, and uploading to YouTube.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. Going back to some of the other stuff there, though, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, that looks really interesting. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Until Dawn, I'm not the biggest fan of horror games,
Nor am I.
but I think I will end up buying this because it gave me that really heavy rain type of vibe.
Okay.
The game looks gorgeous, and from what I've been reading, there are going to be multiple endings to the game depending on how you play and how many people actually survive throughout the game.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's going to be cool. Hollow Point looked okay. DayZ coming to PS4, cool. So, yep. Continue onwards, my friend.
Now we have the surprises. It was expected that Ninja Theory's new game would be a Heavenly Sword sequel based on the appearance of its main character, but Hellblade is coming to PlayStation first. So it's a new IP coming to other platforms later.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Ansel, the man behind Beyond Good and Evil and Rayman, opened a new studio recently. Its first game, Wild, looks incredible. Another exciting new game is Alienation from next title. Oh, the next title from Resogun developer Housemarque.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it looks pretty cool. I
Yeah.
gotta give them, yeah. And Wild just, yeah, it does look incredible. They didn't really specify very much about it, but it's open world, and you can either play as humans or any living creature. So like birds, wolves, that sort of thing.
Ooh,
And
neat.
it's coming from the man who gave us Beyond Good and Evil and fucking Rayman, so.
Yeah, that speaks volumes right there.
And it's a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Nice.
Yep.
So then we also got a few more announcements here.
The
One
poor
is,
Vita.
yep, one is that Tearaway Unfolded is leaving the exclusivity of the Vita and now coming to the PS4. So more reason to give that game a try.
Yep.
I wonder if I assume there'll be some sort of cross-play involved or something.
Be interested to see that, yeah.
Then there's PT is a weird mystery/horror game you can check out on the PlayStation Store right now ahead of its down-the-line release date.
Yep. And I think we can talk a little bit about this one right now because it is out of what PT really is. So yeah, at the Sony conference, they announced like PT is coming, and they showed this video of people reacting to playing the game. They were like, so you can go and play this right now. And it's since been revealed that PT actually stands for Playable Teaser.
Hmm.
A teaser for what, you ask? Well, Silent Hills. Because,
Ooh.
yeah, if you manage to get through PT, which is apparently really hard to do so with its confusing puzzles, you get a little trailer showing this, like, abandoned street. And the screen fades to black, and it shows Hideo Kojima on the screen. Fades out, you see a little bit more of the street, the camera pans forward a little bit more, it goes black again, and the name Guillermo del Toro pops up on the screen.
Mm.
That fades out. Then you get a figure walking out from behind the camera. Slowly pans in, and he turns around. It's Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead fame. And it comes up like, Norman Reedus, starring in. The screen goes white, and Silent Hill fades onto the screen, and then an S appears. So, yeah, we're getting a new Silent Hill game from Hideo Kojima. Yeah, my god, I can't pronounce his name now. From Kojima and Del Toro.
Interesting.
So, it's probably going to scare the fuck out of you.
Yeah, which is why, as much as I love Kojima, I will not be playing it. I value my sleep.
I, on the other hand, may give in and buy it.
You brave soul, you.
If only for Del Toro, really. Alright,
Surprised.
so,
We have,
what else did we get in surprises?
well, the most important news, arguably, is that you have a pet tiger who kills stuff for you in Far Cry 4.
Sold.
Pre-order now.
Can I call him Fluffy? Or Mr. Nibbles?
Mr. Nibbles. I'm calling him Tony.
Yeah. I think they also confirmed, too, the whole, kind of like the share play feature, for Far Cry 4, the time limit that you can invite somebody into your game for is only 2 hours.
Okay.
Yep. And there's also a batch of videos here, is that correct?
Yes, there is. We got video, some gameplay trailers. One for Bloodborne, which was just announced.
Looks so good!
It's got me intrigued, for sure. We also have a video for Tearaway Unfolded.
Yay!
Wild has a trailer. Oh, Journey has a PS4 trailer.
Oh yeah, Journey and the Unfinished Swan got announced for the PlayStation 4.
Okay. There's a trailer for Little Big Planet 3. A trailer for The Order 1886. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, Infamous First Light, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
All about box physics. Or box technology, sorry.
And by that we mean cardboard boxes. Yeah. Until Dawn also has a trailer. And that looks like it
hmm
from Sony.
Yep. There were a few other indie games, though, that IGN doesn't have listed here. The
Okay.
most important of which is that Papers, Please is coming to the PlayStation 4 and Vita.
Yes.
Highly recommended game.
I believe it was on a previous podcast that you told me all about Papers, Please.
Yes, I do believe so.
So,
Trying to think, they announced a few other ones as well, but they're not coming to mind right now. Which is kind of annoying. IGN is stopped working, so...
I know I just got that when I'm clicking on some of the articles I'm trying to read, and it's like, no.
Alright. Well then, let's finish up our Gamescom stuff with a bit of reveals from EA. The big stuff. BioWare unveiled its new online 4v1 RPG Shadow Realms, because everything needs to be 4v1.
Yep.
The most surprising thing about this, it's PC only.
Oh,
So yeah, there you go. They also revealed more information about Dragon Age Inquisition. They showed a
nice.
trailer featuring glimpses of what appears to be a female Hawk and male Warden, as well as gameplay demos showing off more combat.
Sweet.
I know you're excited for that one.
I am. I love Dragon Age. I really, really do. So, I'm super stoked for this game. I have it pre-ordered, actually.
Do you have the $250 collector's edition pre-order?
Not the 250, but like the $80 enhanced edition or whatever.
Okay.
Just so I could get some of the bonus content and stuff.
Cool.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The gameplay looks fun.
hmm
Um,
Yeah, I like the fact that they've kind of combined the first two games.
that's how I felt too. I actually liked the gameplay in the second one.
hmm
Felt more responsive as opposed to just clicking attack and then letting your guy attack and chilling. So this should be a good blend of that.
Yeah, you see, I feel the opposite way. I wasn't a big fan of 2, but I like the gameplay style of 1, that RTS style.
Uh,
So yeah, I'm kind of happy that's back.
yeah, it seems like a good balance between the two, which I like.
Yeah, they made everybody happy, hopefully.
They made me happy, and that's most important.
And finally, the final DLC pack for Titanfall and IMC Rising was given a release window sometime in the fall. Battlefield Hardline showed off 2 new modes, one like a car chase mode and the other one which is kind of ripping off Rainbow Six. And they teased more of the single player gameplay. FIFA 15 and NHL 15 got new trailers. We're also getting a demo later this month.
Sweet.
And The Sims 4 got a short new preview.
Nice.
Yay. And there's a bunch of videos over on IGN as well. 8 minutes of Dragon Age Inquisition gameplay. Titanfall, Free, The Final Frontier. Battlefield Hardline, watch 12 minutes of single player gameplay. FIFA 15 Goalkeepers trailer. Sure, that's exciting.
Yeah.
FIFA 15's new features. NHL 15 Realism Redefined trailer. There's also a gameplay trailer out now as well. And The Sims 4 customization trailer.
Cool.
Yeah, there's that. Alright, so that pretty much does it for the Gamescom stuff. Interesting event. Some nice stuff that came out about it.
hmm
Biggest news is probably the Tomb Raider thing.
Yeah.
Sony also announced that they have now sold, not shipped, but sold over 10 million PlayStation 4s to customers.
Nice.
Yeah, making it the fastest selling console in history right now.
Holy crap.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe it'll give the PS2 a run for its money finally.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's dive into our TV stuff.
Sounds good.
Before we dive into the actual news stories we have here, uh, well, this past Monday, some really terrible news came out. The fact that Robin Williams actually took his own life on Monday morning. So I figured for this podcast, the first one we've had since then, we could honor Robin a little bit and maybe talk about our favorite movies and TV memories of him.
Okay.
So, when you look back at your history with Robin Williams, like what movies spark to your mind?
I love Robin Williams live on Broadway.
Hmm.
To me, that is my all-time favorite comedy bit.
Mhm.
Like my favorite stand-up comedians of all time, I'd probably say Robin Williams is definitely in my top three.
Mhm.
And
Totally agree with you.
and that video live on Broadway is exactly why. The
Mhm.
way his golf story skit is just, in my opinion, probably the greatest comedy bit I've ever heard. Like I've seen that so many times, and it still makes me cry. I laugh that much at it.
Mhm.
Other than that, of course, Mrs. Doubtfire is a favorite of mine, as well as Jumanji.
Mhm.
And I regretfully have not seen Patch Adams, but I will have to change that at some point.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When I look back, it's just at like the movies I watched growing up. It's made me realize like how many of them had Robin Williams into it. Like that man really did shape my childhood
Yeah.
in the movies that I watched. I mean, you go back to his role as Genie in Aladdin.
Hmm.
Like that probably made Aladdin my favorite Disney movie. Um, then like you mentioned, Mrs. Doubtfire, definitely. I think that was probably the first role I really saw Robin Williams in.
Yeah.
When I look back at it, yeah. And you mentioned Jumanji and Patch Adams. Even stuff like Flubber
Was gonna say,
yeah,
yeah,
has
there's
a
a,
fond memory in my heart.
yeah.
I mean, we may look back at it today as being like a bad movie, but growing up, that was the shit, man.
I remember that. I remember borrowing it from some friends on VHS.
See, Jumanji. Fuck, I had a list too. I was thinking of
Good,
Bison Tentacle Man.
yeah. Goodwill Hunting.
Yep.
Um,
Granted, at the time that wasn't a childhood thing, but
no, that was not good. That was not a childhood movie, nor was um, Dead Poet Society.
yeah, Dead Poets Society, another great one. Death to Smoochie.
Yeah.
Um, Fuck yeah, Robin was in so much.
Yeah.
Even RV in
Yeah.
recent
And
years.
what was the one where he was a politician?
Um, yeah, the one where he played the president, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking that up.
Yeah, try that. Fuck. Hook! How the
Oh yeah.
fuck did Hook escape
Yeah.
my mind?
Yeah. Good Morning Vietnam.
Yep.
Not as a kid, but
Yeah. Good
um,
comedy later in life.
Night at the Museum. He was
Oh yeah, he played Teddy Roosevelt.
yeah, Roosevelt, and
Yeah,
then
I need to make an effort to see the second one now, and I will definitely go see the third one just in memory of him.
yeah, Happy Feet.
You know, I still have not seen that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen clips from it, but I've never seen the full thing. Trying to look at some of the stuff here now. Going back to the old Jack was another great one.
Yeah.
Fern Gully was in that. Wow, yeah,
Yeah.
there's another great childhood movie of mine. But yeah, he was so good in everything that he did, be it comedy or serious drama, really.
Hmm.
Oh man, how did I forget this one? It's before we were even born, but I remember watching it as a kid. Popeye.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, in Popeye, looking back at it, is a terrible movie, but he embraced that character so fucking good in that.
Yep.
Just like the mannerisms and everything. He was Popeye.
And that's the thing about him is how he was such a expressive person,
Hmm.
which made him like in all those different roles he did. You know, in all his skits, he was able to do these different personalities. It was so good for like Mrs. Doubtfire was a perfect example of that.
Yep.
So yeah,
And we can't forget, well, his key starring role, Mork and Mindy.
yeah.
Nanu Nanu. So yeah, Robin will be greatly missed. That was a complete shocker the day that happened.
Yeah. And actually, on that note, like I've been on Netflix a few times, and since then, pretty much, if you look at the popular on Netflix section,
Hmm.
pretty much like every Robin Williams movie on Netflix is in that section now.
Wow. Yeah, it was a blow to many people, I think.
Yeah.
I know for myself, I was, when I first saw the news, I was kind of in tears, like trying to fight back crying, but then somebody posted that one little picture of like Genie hugging Aladdin.
Oh no.
That was it.
You know, that actually reminds me. What's his name? CM Punk
Mhm.
referenced tweets by comedian Norman MacDonald
Oh yeah.
about. Um, I'm gonna try to find it actually. About his how one time he was doing a comedy act and he either had to follow Robin Williams or go on just before him,
Hmm.
and he was so nervous. And Robin Williams came into his room and like just completely turned that experience around for him. And I think it's one of the most incredible recounts of his life, really, and the type of person he was. I'm trying to find it right now because it's perfect. Yeah, Norman MacDonald. I don't know if they're too buried in his. Nope, they're still right there. I would take the time to read the whole thing, but
Hmm.
if you want me to.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. It was my first stand-up appearance on Letterman, and I had to follow the funniest man in the world, which is Robin Williams. I was a punk kid from rural Ontario, and I was in my dressing room, terrified. I was on the phone to a friend back home when the funniest man in the world ambled by. There was no one else on the floor. In shock, I told my friend who just walked by, only the funniest man in the world. I guess he heard me say his name, because in an instant he was at my side. He was a Jewish tailor, taking my measurements. He went down on his knees, asked which way I dressed. I told my friend on the phone that the funniest man in the world was on his knees before me, measuring my inseam. My friend didn't believe me, so I said, "Could you talk to my friend, sir?" The funniest man in the world took the phone for 10 minutes, took the phone, and for 10 minutes, took my friend's Chinese food order. I laughed and laughed, and it was like I was in a dream because no one else was there. No one. The place was out of Mushu pork, and there was nothing he could do about it. He angrily hung up on my friend, and I was about to thank him when he said I hadn't even tried the jacket on. Then the funniest man on earth dressed me, a complete stranger, and I remember he ended with a Windsor knot. He spoke mostly Yiddish, but when he finished he was happy with his job and turned me to a mirror to present myself to me. No one witnessed this, or no one witnessed any of this. No one. The funniest man alive was in my dressing room for a good half hour and was far funnier than the set I had to do soon. All of a sudden, it was had to. What? Some looks like, I don't know, error in tweet or something. Anyways, when he left my dressing room, I felt alone as I remember feeling. Until today, and then that's how it ends. Rest in peace, Robin Williams.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, it was a pretty moving recount of it.
Yep.
So,
I know, too, in the gaming community, a lot of people were upset by it, too, because, like us, Robin was a big gamer.
Actually, there's a petition going around. I don't know
Yeah, a
if you heard
couple,
about it.
actually.
Yeah, to get him involved in some way in the new Zelda game,
Mm-hmm.
or in an upcoming Zelda game.
Yep. I know Nintendo has responded to that one.
Yeah.
He's also going to be memorized in WoW as well, as an NPC character who will say some of his lines.
Nice.
So there's that. I mean, he was a big gamer. I mean, he named his daughter Zelda.
Yeah, that's a bigger commitment than. If I have kids, I do plan to name my daughter after a video game character,
Mm-hmm. So,
namely Clementine from The Walking Dead.
nice.
Yeah.
That. People actually posted up his little Nintendo commercials too for the Four Swords Zelda game and the Ocarina of Time 3D release too, and man, watching those was hard too without crying.
Yeah, I remember those. It hadn't even, when I saw those, I hadn't even really fully dawned on me how big a gamer Robin Williams was.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he was active in WoW. He enjoyed Call of Duty.
Yeah.
He loved Zelda to a T. So yeah. So, we definitely lost a great man this past week.
We did. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Rest in peace, Robin. We'll miss you.
we will.
Alright, so let's try to dive back into some more happy news.
Well, first off,
yeah.
I don't have any happy news. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Maybe not the worst one. Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli, or I don't know how you pronounce that. There's people behind the Miyazaki movies may no longer be making featured films.
No!
However, there's an update here stating that an internal translation of the available information explains that the studio is taking a small break to reassess the situation. So, I know how Hayao Miyazaki, his last movie was The Name of the Wind.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that would be his final movie.
Yep.
And I mean, he's the co-founder of the studio. He's pretty much their lifeblood. So it's understanding that they kind of need to figure out what they're going to do. And understandable, unfortunately, that their future could be a bit in question.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully this is not the end.
No. Hopefully it's just a hiatus until they get some stuff worked out.
Mm-hmm. Maybe some new blood in the studio. Figure
Yeah.
out some more movies to make.
Yeah.
Because it would be a sad day if there was no more Studio Ghibli.
Agreed. All their movies are excellent.
Yeah.
All the ones I've seen. I haven't seen them all, unfortunately, but
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I'm with you there. Everything I've seen from them has been magic.
yeah. I've been missing a few. I still have to see The Name of the Wind,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to see Princess Mononoke.
Ooh. I'm surprised you haven't seen that one. That's a classic.
Yeah. Thing is, I own all the other ones, but that one doesn't have a release on Blu-ray, so
Ah, okay.
yeah.
Alright, well, next up. Well, if there's something... fuck, I was going to say the Ghostbusters theme, but never mind. Paul Feig has been eyed to direct a female-centric Ghostbusters reboot. Well, now.
Who are you gonna call?
Yeah, I'm not too sure how I feel about this one.
Yeah, I'm a little like, well, okay. First of all, why do we need a Ghostbusters reboot?
Because, well, Hollywood, money, 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 we couldn't get the third one to work out, so let's just reboot it.
Yeah, and I don't know why it has to be female-centric.
But I think if they are going to reboot it, maybe this is the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
You can add in some new lifeblood into it. So,
Well, you know what? But that's the thing. Is like I haven't read into it at all.
hmm
So I'm not a sexist at all. I'm
yep.
not saying, oh, there's females, I'm not going to watch this.
hmm
But if it's like, is it like a female ghost busting team?
That's
Where
why I think so. Yeah.
to me, that's weird. Like, shouldn't it be like 50-50 or something like that?
Mm.
Like, definitely have some female Ghostbusters for sure, but
Yeah.
I don't understand why it needs to be female focus. It's like what Charlie's Angels ghostbusting,
I guess so.
in which case we can get Bill Murray back.
You just play Charlie. Maybe he'll play. Oh, what was her name? The secretary in Ghostbusters.
I can't remember.
Janine.
Think it's been a long time,
Yeah.
longer than I'm proud to admit.
I really need to watch that movie again. Speaking
Yeah,
of, it's out in theaters Labor Day weekend.
yeah, I heard about that.
So yeah, I definitely want to try and get out for a showing of that.
Yeah,
Uh, in which case, Hollywood, fuck doing reboots. Just bring back the old films to theaters the way they are.
yeah.
Like, I mean, people will go and pay to see that shit.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but over here, our big theater at West Edmonton Mall,
hmm
they do. I think they call them like classic screenings or something.
hmm
And each month they'll do a few good, like a few shows,
Yep.
and you vote online out of certain movies which ones come to the theater.
Yep, they do that here too.
Okay. Like I know my sister went a few, I think last year, and she went and saw Fight Club with a group of friends.
Oh, nice.
And then there's other ones. I think they had like Bruce Lee one time. They did a couple of his movies.
hmm
They've done a screening of the Bloodsport and then Kickboxer for Jean-Claude Van Damme.
hmm Yep. I'm assuming this is Cineplex, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they also had that earlier this... Was it this year? Yeah, it was earlier this year. They had the Great Digital Film Festival on the
yeah.
go, where they brought back all of these old movies. I mean, I went to see a few in theaters. I saw The Avengers again because, seventh time, why not? I also saw... I know you're laughing there. I also saw... I got a free poster that night, too. Okay, I answered some trivia and won a poster.
You would.
Uh, yeah. I also saw Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh boy.
And before that, I saw that one, and back to back with that, I saw Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Nice.
So yeah, it was so much fun going in and watching those movies on the big screen.
You know what I really want? I really want to watch the original trilogy on the big screen.
Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so good. That's
Even
what.
if it's even if it's the special editions,
hmm
like whatever, just give me Star Wars on the big screen.
Yep. Which is why I was so pissed after. It was sometime after Disney bought Lucasfilm. They said that they weren't going to continue with the 3D conversions.
Yeah.
Like that pissed me off. They
You
showed
know
the
what?
first.
Like to me, yeah, sure, it felt like a cash grab.
hmm
But at the same time, I just wanted to see Star Wars in theaters. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Give me Star Wars in theaters.
hmm I
I'll
know.
pay.
I paid to see the Phantom Menace in theaters, thinking that by doing so I would, eventually see the original trilogy in theaters.
I did the same thing. And I mean, to be honest, I don't hate the Phantom Menace as much as everybody else does.
hmm
I, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a masterpiece by any means, but for what it's worth, I enjoy it.
Yeah. Darth Maul fight aside, I was so fucking bored in that movie. I think I laughed more than I did anything
Yeah,
else.
for me, I enjoy. I watch it to appreciate the special effects,
hmm
to see the Star Wars world,
Yep.
for the great action scenes,
hmm
and Liam Neeson.
Can't go wrong there.
Oh, and of course, um, Samuel L. Jackson.
Can't forget Samuel. Um, Speaking of the original trilogy, though, there's a rumor going around now that Disney might be bringing the original trilogy, unedited, their original versions, to Blu-ray.
Yep, I saw that.
So, once again, finally, Han fucking shot first.
Yeah. If that comes out, that is a day one purchase for me.
Yep, same here. I do not care what else is out in that month, what I have to buy or whatnot. That will get bought.
Star Wars is one of my favorite franchises of all time.
Mm-hmm. You getting more excited for the next movie?
I will always be excited for more Star Wars. No matter what form it takes, I will always be excited, which arguably is a bad thing. It's not always the best quality, but I don't care.
Alright, well, let's dive into some comic book news. You've got the first one here.
Yes, and that is that Sony is developing a female Spider-Man driven spin-off, or female-driven Spider-Man spin-off.
Ooh. And that's
Yeah.
going to come out fairly soon, I believe, or compared to their other movies.
Apparently they're planning to release this one in 2017.
Oh, my.
Sony Pictures' ongoing Spider-Man revamp continues. First, the studio pushed back Amazing Spider-Man 3 from 2016 to 2018. And now, after Drew Goddard's Sinister 6 opens in 2016, Sony plans to release another spin-off, this time featuring one of Spidey's female counterparts in 2017.
Ooh.
Which counterpart? We don't know.
They've got quite a few to select from.
Yeah? There's character-wise, there are several likely candidates. Silver Sable, Stunner, Firestar, not Starter, some version of Spider-Woman, and Black Cat.
Mm-hmm. Black Cat movie would be interesting.
Yeah?
Silver Sable, I think, would be a nice choice.
Yeah?
Hopefully they just don't go with, here's Spider-Woman. Because that would be a little boring.
I think that's the most generic thing they could do.
Mm-hmm.
The most predictable, most kind of, okay.
Yeah.
That's what we expect, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But with Black Cat, they could probably introduce her in Sinister 6 and then spin her off into her own movie. Or Silver Sable, same way.
Yeah.
Wait. I definitely know what they're going to do now for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Aunt May, the movie.
I was thinking Gwen Stacy, the movie.
Well...
You know.
Well, would it be like Buried then? That was probably horrible of me.
Oh my. Well.
Yeah, Sony, once again, well, I guess trying like Marvel, trying to catch up with that.
Yep.
But there's somebody else that's trying to catch up with Marvel a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, there was a game of chicken on the go between DC and Marvel, and everybody was wondering who was going to be the first one to budge. Well, the answer is DC. Because Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, the court case, will not be releasing now on May 6th of 2016, but instead it's going to release March 25th of 2016, meaning that, I guess, summer now starts in March.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's good for our winters here.
Yeah. So yeah, that's happening earlier in the year, sooner and sooner for superhero movies now.
Yeah.
But this is good, it spreads everything out a little bit more. But aside from just changing this release date, we also got 11 more release dates from DC.
What?
Apparently. I don't think these have been actually confirmed, but according to Box Office Mojo, 9 more untitled DC movies and 2 event films have also given release dates. So just running through these real quick, we have one for August 5th, 2016, June 23rd, 2017, November 17th, 2017. So one for or two for 2016, two for 2017, March 23rd, 2018, July 27th, 2018, November 16th, 2018, April 5th, 2019, June 14th, 2019, April 3rd, 2020, June 19th, 2020, and November 20th, 2020. So we have release dates now for superhero movies right up until November 20th, 2020. And
I, I, I don't even know. Like 2020.
yeah,
I don't even I can't even comprehend life that far ahead.
yeah, 6 years into the future. It's
Yeah.
just getting crazy right now. And the funny thing is, like, none of these dates actually match up with Marvel's dates.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with Box Office Mojo, they posted out at one point that there is, I think it was up to 39 untitled superhero movies coming out between now and 2020.
Wow.
That's just insane to think about. I mean, we have dates now for Marvel and DC, but we also Fox has some dates right now, but outside of them, we still have Fox and Sony and other studios making superhero movies.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, well, for us comic book fans, we got no shortage of movies to go see.
No, that's for sure. Many entertaining summers coming up.
Yeah, not only summers, winters, and springs too.
Yeah.
Because like these dates I just listed off, we have films as early as March, right up to as late as November.
Year-round movies.
Yeah, and in most cases, three per year. Because
Yeah.
Marvel's got three in 2017 as well. And then they've got three in 2018. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they got three for 2019, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, the only thing is, we know Marvel's on the right track. Fox has really improved. If they keep going the way they did with Days of Future Past, no worries there.
Yep.
Sony is a bit iffy at the moment. They've got a lot to prove right now.
Yeah.
Because Amazing Spider-Man, it was good. It was probably the best of the Amazing Spider-Man, or Spider-Man films thus far, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I would kind of argue a little bit with 2. 2 is still really good. They had a really great villain, but yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is probably their best one done to date anyway. But yeah, they've got a lot to prove. They've just hit the nail on the head with the Wolverine and Days of Future Past and First Class. So.
Well, First Class remains one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite comic book movies in general.
Yeah, same here. And, well, Marvel, as we will talk about shortly,
Yeah.
has done a fantastic job. And DC, well, I think Batman v Superman, they've got to pray that that does well.
Yeah.
Because Man of Steel, I liked it. It's a good film. It had a little issues in my opinion, but a lot of people didn't like it.
I'm one of those people, as we've discussed before.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so if yeah, they have to embrace the comic bookness of things,
Yeah.
like Marvel has done.
Like they do on Arrow.
Yeah. I mean, like they will now in the fall when they bring in the Flash and start bringing in superhero characters with powers.
Yep.
If they do that, they'll be in good shape. If they don't,
Pretty much.
Alright, well, with that done and out of the way, it's time to dive into our been playing, been watching, and most likely have not been reading anything section. So, let's dive into been playing. Why don't you tell the folks what you've been playing this past week?
have I been playing? Oh, yeah, I started playing Skyrim again.
Oh, yeah?
I'm working towards the platinum.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, but then the game's stupid. I, I finished every single Daedric quest,
Hmm.
and I can't get the Daedric artifact trophy thing.
What?
Yeah, so I'm right pissed about that.
Oh, I would be too.
I was like, fuck you, Skyrim. But I haven't touched it because I'm angry. Other than that, I don't think I've been playing anything else. Oh, I finished up Watch Dogs.
Hmm.
As I tweeted about that, for those who don't follow me on Twitter, I'll let them know. It was all right. Um, I never really got into it though. It
Hmm.
wasn't a bad game by any means, but at no point did I ever feel dragged into the story or even the gameplay for that matter.
Mm. Hmm.
So,
Maybe we should test out the online at some point.
yeah, maybe
Just.
find out. At one point, you find out that people can invade your game,
Hmm.
and I'm just like, no, I'm not turning that off right away. Leave me the hell alone while I'm playing.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me a couple of times when I was playing it. I haven't touched it in months now.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I've been playing anything else. Diablo 3 comes out right away.
Tomorrow, or but
Yeah,
well, yeah,
yeah.
probably
So
out by the time this goes up.
pretty much, I'll be picking that up. And
Nice.
yeah, looking forward to playing that again.
Hmm.
Well, hopefully, actually finishing it this time.
Yeah, I'll probably
But
pick it up eventually.
the big thing that I'm really looking forward to about that is offline co-op.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to having some friends and playing some Diablo
Nice.
on a couch. When do you game on the couch anymore? But other than playing sports games.
Hmm.
My last experiences couch gaming have involved WWE, uh, NHL, and FIFA and Madden. I'm undefeated in Madden, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, and I've retired undefeated. I will never play Madden again because I won my one game, and I don't want to ever play Madden again. I hate it.
Have you played the multiplayer on Towerfall then, or did
No,
you download it while it was free?
no,
Oh, the multiplayer in that is actually really fun,
yeah.
and it's only couch co-op.
Oh man.
It's basically a 2D Smash Brothers, just with
Oh,
bows and arrows.
damn it.
Alright, well, as for me, what I've been playing this past 2 weeks since the last recording, played a little more Drakengard 3, finished up the main story into that, but then after the credits rolled, they were like, hey, look, more story to play. Like, oh, fuck, I still have more! Great game, though, so I'm looking forward to playing through that. I think I started it, but I died on a mission, got pissed, and turned it off.
I know
Uh,
that feeling.
yeah. Other than that, I've been playing a little more Mario Kart 8. Actually played some online with our friend Ozzy Legend.
Yeah.
Fucking loving that game. It's, I am actually glad I bought a Wii U, if only for that reason alone. Um, but the main thing I've been playing this past couple of weeks, because I've been addicted to it, has been Rogue Legacy. Playing it on both the PS4 and the PlayStation Vita because of cross-buy and cross-saving. That game is like crack. It is probably the best indie 2D platformer I've played this year.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so much fun. You die a lot. It's one of those games where you die and build up your character, die, build up the character, that sort of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, the gameplay is addicting. I think right now my character's a level 120 something. Yeah, that's about right. It took a while to get there, but man, that game is such a blast to play. And it's so simple too, because you're only going into a randomly generated castle. It gets randomly generated every time you die. So every time back in's a new experience. So there's that, but there's only 4 bosses and 1 main boss, I believe, to defeat in the game. I've only gotten 2 of the mini bosses defeated yet, so
Yeah.
I've still got a ways to go, but I would highly recommend that game. And since it's cross-play on PS4, PlayStation 3, and the Vita, it's definitely worth the money. Definitely. So if you're looking for something to play on your Vita, BB, this is the great game to go for.
Definitely noted.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing this week. And I dabbled in a bit of Surgeon Simulator on the PlayStation 4.
How does it control?
Not bad, actually. There's a few control options. You've got...
Okay.
It's basically rotating the hand for the control. You can either use your controller, the gyroscope thing, to rotate the controller to turn the hand,
Okay.
which I turned off right away. You can use the right analog stick to do that. Or there is camera controls, which I have not looked up yet because I don't have a PlayStation camera.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, I'm assuming you use your own hand to do it. But other than that, the controls are actually pretty decent. You move around using the left analog stick. I think it's L2 to bring your hand down. And using the fingers, you use your thumb and index finger using R1, and the other three fingers using R2. But depending on how you press in onto them, you can use so many fingers.
Okay.
Because I think I was gently tapping in on R2 and holding down R1 just to flip the bird. So yeah, you can do that. Other than that, though, it's pretty fun. It's, those, if you're into those weird control games like Quap or Octodad, you'd enjoy this one too.
Okay.
Also, which I find really, really funny, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes had about 16 trophies, no platinum, right?
Yeah.
Surgeon Simulator has 56 trophies, including a platinum. And they're all named so good.
Yes, they are.
So yeah, the Surgeon Simulator is fun. I think it's still only $10 on the store, so yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, pick it up. I'm probably going to do some streams of it later on.
Nice.
Alright, so with that, let's dive into our been watching section.
Yes, and we have something in common.
Yep. Want to do the uncommon first, if you have any?
Sure, I've been watching a lot of stuff.
Okay.
I won't talk about all of it. I watched the first episode of Black Sails, which is a pirate drama show by Starz, the same network that aired Spartacus. It's really cool. They had the first episode for free on our Movie Central box as a preview to get you to subscribe to their network.
Okay.
I'm not going to be subscribing to it, but I'll wait. I'll wait till it comes out on Blu-ray, then I'll be picking it up for sure because I'm definitely interested.
Cool.
I also watched Joseph Gordon-Levitt's movie there, Don John. It was on TV one night, and I'm like, yeah, sure, what the hell? So I watched it. I started watching Attack on Titan. I'm 10 episodes into that.
Nice.
I'm very much enjoying it. Very highly recommend it. I've also been watching Shark Week. Shark Week is the coolest thing ever. I've never watched Shark Week before, and now I feel like I've wasted so many years not watching Shark Week.
Please tell me, throughout the duration of watching Shark Week, you have at least watched Sharknado.
No, I've made a point to not watch that.
Ah.
I don't get why they're putting that on the Discovery Channel. Though at one point they were showing a movie of some sort, and they said that the following is for entertainment purposes only. They have to have a disclaimer to be like, don't believe this. Though at one point I turned off Shark Week because they were showing a show called I Survived Jaws.
Oh, God.
And it was showing this woman, she was attacked by a shark. And at one point they show her arm after she was attacked by the shark.
Yeah.
And you see all the flesh missing from it. These massive chunks gone. And you see the bone. And I'm like, nope. And I just changed channels so fast. Which leads me to another thing I've watched. I went back to my movie channel and Frozen was on. And I watched Frozen for the first time, not this previous Friday, but the Friday before. Since then, I've seen the movie 3 times.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I really like that movie.
I take it. I really think you do.
I was actually at HMV, a C music store, and I happened to see the Frozen soundtrack, and I came very, very close to picking it up.
I've seen the vinyl version of that too.
Ooh,
It was like $80.
80. See, I bought myself a vinyl album, actually.
Hmm.
I bought Public Enemy's It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back,
Nice.
simply because the cover artwork is 3D. And
Oh,
I'm like,
nice.
ooh, Flava Flav in 3D. And I think that just about does it for the uncommon things we've been watching.
Okay, well, I'll give my uncommon one then. I've been watching a shit ton of Fringe lately. I've powered through seasons 1, 2, and I think I'm halfway through 3 at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, I hate myself for not watching it sooner because I love J.J. Abrams and anything he touches, so...
Like Star Wars.
Man, you have no idea how fucking excited I was when he got announced for that. It's like my favorite director plus one of my favorite franchises.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of that. And speaking of Star Wars, well, the thing we have in common,
It's not Star
arguably,
Wars.
no, but arguably it's the new Star Wars on the block.
Well, it's certainly the greatest sci-fi thing I've seen since the original trilogy. I'll go out and say that. I will go out and say that.
Hmm. And that is Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yep.
Marvel's new hit movie. And just be warned, we're probably going to talk a few spoilers here at this point. So, if you haven't seen it yet, pause
Go
this.
see it.
Yeah,
Go just pause it, go see it, and come back. The rest can wait. Go see it.
exactly. And if you've already seen it, still pause the podcast, go see it again, come back and finish listening.
And that's the big thing for me is as I mean, I know you go and see movies multiple times because you're
Hmm.
crazy. Um, I rarely go and see movies twice.
Hmm.
I can count on one hand the number of times I've done it.
Yep.
Watchmen, Kick-Ass, Up,
Hmm.
and I think there was one more. I can't think of it. It'll come to me, I'm sure, at some
Yeah.
point.
Yep.
But I want to go see Guardians of the Galaxy again.
Hmm.
And the fact that I don't go to see movies twice in theaters speaks volumes because, yeah.
Hmm. Now, did you see it in IMAX 3D?
Not IMAX. They didn't have a showing at the right time for me.
Oh.
So,
Well,
I
if you have to go back for your second showing for IMAX then.
yeah.
Yes, because oh my god, it's so good in IMAX. Like normally I don't really care about 3D that much or even the IMAX experience. It's cool and all, like Godzilla was awesome in IMAX, but yeah, this was so fucking good in IMAX. Like you said, mentioning to me that I'm crazy for seeing movies multiple times. There's a reason why I listed Guardians of the Galaxy 4 times on the notes here, because I've seen it 4 times in IMAX at this point.
Yep.
Because, damn. Yep. I mean, where do we even begin talking about this movie?
I'll just say that it's, to me, it's the perfect blend of action, story, and comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I can't think of any other movie that has had that perfect blend, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yep, because you're laughing all the way through it, and even when you can be laughing and laughing, and then suddenly, BAM! A scene that will, like, hit you with emotions like anything.
There are some, yeah, and there are a few good scenes for that, actually.
Yep. One that definitely comes to mind right here now is the scene in the bar on Nowhere where Rocket and Drax are having their little fight
Yep.
back and forth.
That was the
Like,
exact one I was thinking of,
yeah,
actually.
because you have that little moment where Drax is calling it Rocket on a couple things, and Rocket's going, "That's true. That's also true." And then right after you get Rocket like just vomiting out like emotions that he's feeling, like how he doesn't really like being who he is.
You never asked for it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't normally feel for a CGI character in a movie, but damn!
Pretty much. That's exactly it.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of emotional moments, including Rocket, like right at the end, a little scene where him and Drax are sitting side by side. Like, all through the movie, Rocket's not really a character that likes being touched or, being talked to or whatnot. But then right at the end where he's, in mourning, he's really upset. And you have Drax just slowly starting to pet him, and he perks up a little bit. It's like, man, it's hard not to cry at that moment.
Yeah.
Not a single word being said either is the killer for that.
Yeah, you definitely get invested with the characters.
hmm Which, you know, the Avengers was great for that as well, like having the 5 characters, or more than 5 actually, being so unique and different and you're attached to them. But even for the Avengers, it took 5 movies to build up to that point.
It's
For
true.
for Guardians, it's all done within 2 hours, your emotional attachment to
It
these
was,
characters.
and it wasn't even, yeah, it was only 2 hours. It wasn't even like 2.5 like Avengers.
hmm
It was, and and it was all their first debut.
Yep. I mean, as soon as you meet each of the characters, like Star-Lord, right off the beginning, the movie starts up like it's all... You think it's going to be a little dark and gloomy the way it's up,
Yeah.
and then the music plays.
Yep.
Like, I mean, as soon as that logo pops up and Star-Lord's dancing, you're like, oh man, this is just going to be perfect.
hmm
And that I think was one of the other great things with the movie, the soundtrack.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting because like a couple weeks prior to that, my sister and I were having a discussion about movies that have really good soundtracks.
hmm
And we're not counting musicals and we're not counting like scores.
hmm
So no, Star Wars doesn't count,
Yeah.
as brilliant as it is. Um, but like a couple that came to mind were Watchmen had a great soundtrack,
hmm
as did The Fighter.
Yep.
There was another one, but then sure enough, I went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and the first thing I texted my sister after the movie was Guardians of the Galaxy is a movie we can add to movies with a good soundtrack.
Yep. Because it works so well in every situation, and it was like the one tie to Earth you really had throughout the movie.
Yeah, it even brought up the conversation about dancing and foot moves.
And the hero that is Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, but who we'll never find out who put the sticks up their asses.
And even right at the end, like, you get that moment where Ronan is about to destroy the planet. He has his little speech, like, saying, ha ha ha, I've won, and now I'm going to destroy you! Ooh, child. It's like
Yeah.
that perfect comedic timing, and
Challenging him to a dance-off.
yeah. It's like, you would not expect that to happen at all.
No, not even Robert Downey Jr. would do that. Not even
No.
Tony Stark would do that.
No. It's like, what else do I have to lose? Dance off.
Pretty much.
I love that little moment where he, like, looks to Gamora. Just the look on her face.
Pretty much. No, it was good. I really liked it.
hmm Such perfect timing throughout the entire movie.
Mm,
And the 2 after credit scenes are one kind of not after credits, just after the Guardians of the Galaxy will return thing, which was nice in itself.
yep.
You have the dancing baby Groot,
Yeah.
which is just perfect. And then the one right after the credits,
The
which,
post-credit scene
yeah,
it actually disappointed a lot of people in the theater.
it did. I've seen it 4 times now. I've seen it, like, I've stayed basically the last 3 times just to see the reactions of people around me.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of, what the fuck?
Yeah. That's people are like, what? And then one guy's like, oh, really?
Yeah, you get the disappointment ones. You get
It's
people
like-
who, yeah, you get people who just, like, laugh at it.
Yeah. The best one I had was the one time I saw it. There was one older gentleman in the theater, like probably in his mid 50s.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, that really takes me back to the 80s.
then you had people who just loved it, like myself. I nearly jumped out of my seat when I saw it. I was like, oh my god, they did that! It's like, James Gunn, you beautiful bastard!
Yeah. I'll put it this way. When you tweeted about making sure you stay through the credit scene,
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was going to expect, but that certainly was not it.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I didn't. I was assuming as soon as we saw Cosmo there again, that we were going to hear him talk.
Yeah.
Then we got that voice is like, what you just let him lick you like that for? Then the camera pans over and it's Howard the fucking Duck. Like, of all the characters they could have used, Howard the Duck!
Pretty much.
Which, I mean, is awesome and alone. Like, he now exists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing I can't remember, and you've seen it 4 times, so you can maybe tell me, did they say Howard the Duck will return?
No. It's just,
Okay.
at the end it was just like, Howard the Duck created by such and
Yeah.
such.
Okay. I knew they said something, but I couldn't remember if it was if he will return or not. So.
Yeah. All I hope for right now is like, a movie would be awesome. I'm not going to lie, I would love to see another Howard the Duck movie done right. But all I want right now is a one-shot done by James Gunn with Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
It could be called Duck Out of Nowhere.
I'd call it DuckTales. Oh, wait.
Yeah, hopefully they do that. I mean, that was awesome. And actually, before the post-credit scene, he's actually in the movie itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the scene where Gamora, Star-Lord, Rocket, and Groot go in to meet the Collector.
Yeah.
You know where you have that one scene of just the Collector on the screen and
Yeah.
him turning around?
Yeah.
Well, up in the top right corner, there's like, in one of the cages that's hanging down from the ceiling,
Huh?
Howard the Duck is sat there, and he
Oh.
briefly looks over at the camera and then turns away again.
Hmm.
But it's
Well,
so brief, and it like gets a little blurry after a second, but
Okay.
he is there.
So when I go back to see it again, I'll definitely look for that.
Hmm. Yep. There was a lot of cameos in that movie too.
Yeah. I really liked, what's his name's character? Merle Dixon.
Oh, Yandu, yeah.
Yeah, I liked his character.
Yeah. he was perfect for that role.
Yeah.
Like, I could not see anybody else playing that character.
Other than, what's his face? If I hear the name, I'll be like, yeah.
Yep. And you had James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn, as actually his first mate.
Yeah.
Trying to think of some of the other ones. Rob
Michael-
Zombie was in the movie.
Who?
Rob Zombie.
No.
Yeah, he played the, it was just a voiceover, but he played the navigator for the Ravagers.
Oh,
Nathan Fillion was in the movie.
he was?
Yeah. It
Where?
was like, oh, you're going to hate yourself after this one. I saw
Oh.
the movie twice and didn't notice it right away. I had to look it up. But remember when they go into the prison and the big blue guy like comes up in front of Star-Lord?
Yeah.
That big blue guy was Nathan Fillion.
No.
Yeah.
I'm looking this up.
So-
Michael Rooker is the name of
Right.
Merle.
So you had that. James Gunn's former boss, who actually, I think, directed The Toxic Avenger. That guy was in the film. He was one of the inmates throwing stuff at Gamora.
Okay.
James Gunn's dog was in the movie. Of all people, yeah. Oh, fuck, there were some other ones, too. I just can't remember. Well, we had the Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah. That one was good.
Yeah.
As per always.
Yeah. It was done perfectly well, too.
It was.
Yeah, I think that was about it. Now, Guardians was really a great quotable film, too. I gotta ask you, what is your favorite quote from the movie?
It has, aside from Gamora with the sticks up the ass thing, it would have to be something that Mr. Batista said. And I think that is the first time in a podcast you'll ever hear me call him Batista as opposed to Bootista or Blue-tista.
He was great in the movie.
Yep, Dave Batista was, in my opinion, the highlight of the movie.
Hmm. Just because he
Like,
was the biggest surprise, really.
yeah, it's just it's not that the others weren't as good as him. It's just he delivered his lines so perfectly. Like, and it's totally my humor. It's just like, yep.
Yeah.
And it would either be when he first interacts with Star-Lord, uh, when he does the why would I put my thumb on his throat? It's an expression. People do that, right? Right. Or when you talk about the metaphors.
Mhm.
No, don't use metaphors. That goes over his head. Nothing goes over my head. I have quick reflexes.
I would catch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good. For me, it comes down to two, I think. One from Gamora herself, back to the Footloose thing where she like kind of assaults him at the end, where she goes, "Your pelvic sorcery." That was too good. But the other one comes from Rocket near the end, where all of them have decided to go into battle, and he's the last one. And right at the end, when he stands up, he's like, "You happy now? I'm standing up. We're all standing up. A bunch of jackasses standing in a
Yeah,
circle."
yeah.
And
I was like
apparently,
at the start with Rocket where like they have the kid. I can't remember exactly what he said, but I'm like, oh, that is perfect.
yeah, oh fuck, what was it? You little gargoyle, walk on your own.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I think everything out of Rocket was just perfect throughout the
yeah.
entire movie.
Bradley Cooper did a really good job.
Yep. Even right near the end where he's talking with Batista, it's like, "Boo! My wife and child died." It's like, oh god, just everything was perfect. Speaking of the characters, Vin Diesel did a great job with Groot
Yep.
for only saying a maximum of 5 words throughout the entire movie. Done excellent.
5 or 4.
5. You had the "I am Groot,"
Yeah.
and then, well, before he quote
Oh, right. Yeah.
unquote
Sorry.
died,
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
"We are."
Yeah. We are. I knew we said I am Groot, and then we. I didn't adjust to the plural of
Yeah.
to R.
And man, that moment, Christ.
Yeah.
If that don't bring on waterworks, nothing would.
Yeah. It was good.
So, yeah, probably the best Marvel movie to date right now.
That's how I feel. To be perfectly 100% honest.
hmm I came out, like, the first viewing went and saw, I came out of it, it's like, okay, I think that is on par with Avengers. It's my favorite solo film of the bunch. But I think it's on par, but after my second and third viewing, I was like, no, no, this is better than the Avengers. This is probably my favorite movie now.
I think it's more balanced than the Avengers for me.
hmm Yep.
And the fact that it's a little bit shorter helps too.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not as long, and it's yeah. No, to me, it's
yeah. For me, I think it's like we said at the beginning, the perfect balance of comedy, action, and drama throughout the
yeah,
whole thing. And who would have ever thought we would have got that from the man who gave us PG porn and Lollipop Chainsaw?
pretty much.
Oh, the other cameo that was in the movie, James Gunn's own space slugs from the movie Slither.
Huh.
So yeah, here we go. Guardians of the Galaxy. Perfect movie. Uh, yeah, it's going to be hard to top that, definitely.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, we have to wait 3 years now before the sequel.
yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, highly. If you guys haven't seen it yet, please go see Guardians of the Galaxy. It is worth your time, even despite our little spoiler-ish here. It's still worth watching. It's a magical movie. When people were starting to compare it to the new Star Wars of this generation, they were not lying. This is definitely a movie you have to go see and experience.
Yeah,
All
for
right. All right. So, been reading?
nah.
All right.
Well, I've been a little bit, but that's not. I don't know. Not the most podcast discussing stuff.
Fair enough. All right. So, shameless self-promotion.
As usual, you can follow me on Twitter at @the_Highwind32. I do have a random story that I actually want to throw in here because it's relevant to you and to podcast listeners from before.
Okay.
A while ago at work, myself and coworkers were having a bit of a contest as to which sports we all know the best.
Mm-hmm.
And, so we're like, oh, well, I can name the most hockey players. And someone's like, well, I can name the most basketballers. And then who can name the most baseballers,
Mm-hmm.
mixed martial artists, boxers, tennis players, soccer players, which I got decimated in. And then as a joke, one guy said, well, how many cricket players can you name? And I just smiled and said, Don Bradman. They both looked at me. What?
Oh my god.
And I explained to them the history of Don Bradman. And since then, that's kind of become a bit of a running joke, the fact that I know more cricket players than anybody.
Oh my god. Oh, that is too good. That is too fucking good.
It started out so innocently, just like, oh, naming all the hockey players, and then
Yeah.
who could name more basketball? And it's like, well, shit, I
And,
don't know any basketballers. And then just, so how many cricket players can you name?
now,
Yeah,
now, if only you knew the last name of Ash.
yeah, who is this Ashes cricket? Who's it named after?
Oh, I think my insides hurt now. That's too fucking good.
Yeah, Don Bradman cricket.
Oh my. Well, as for myself, just the usual lately. I haven't had the chance to do much for my channel. The usual pickup videos have gone up. I've got 2 Let's Plays of Rogue Legacy gone up. One voiceless, one with voice. And another comic shop pickups video. But I hope throughout the course of this week to get a few more things done. I'm hoping to live stream a bit more Rogue Legacy and Surgeon Simulator. I will have an unboxing video going up Tuesday or Wednesday, I hope, of the Tales of Exilia 2 Collector's Edition. Pickups videos, and it's coming back. I have to continue it. Going up some point this week, another Ride to Hell video.
How close are you to the end of that?
I have no idea, but I hope I'm close.
Because there's another game coming out for you to play.
Oh god. Oh wait, you're talking about the one I showed you, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that one. That one's going to go to the birds. I'll just leave it like that for those of you who haven't followed me on Twitter. There's actually a couple of games I've been looking at for more suffers at, so Lord only knows what could happen. It can't be any worse than Ride to Hell, I'm going to say that much right now.
I can't wait to find out if it is.
Believe me, I watched that PBG video that
Yeah.
you linked,
Yeah.
and just by looking at that, it's not worse than Ride to Hell.
It might be more WTF worthy, though.
Yeah, it will be that, for sure. Oh, fuck me. What are the things I do to myself? But anyways, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. As per usual, guys, if you have any questions and comments, please leave them down below. I don't think there were any on the last podcast 2 weeks ago. No, but we did get a comment saying awesome, so thank you, Gaming Ferrets, for that.
I can't say thank you. I wasn't on it, so your comment is relevant to me.
Alright, well, that's going to do it for this week. And so, Big Boss, would you do us the honors of taking us out?
I'll try. Thank you, boys and girls, for tuning into this week's episode of the CanUK podcast. We've had a lot of fun discussing this. It went a little bit longer than expected, primarily due to our love of Guardians of the Galaxy, so go see that. Again, if you need to. I've been Big Boss, and with me, as always, is your host, Lord X. So, again, remember to enter questions and comments, and we will respond to them in podcast future. So, thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye.